Hi, it's Friday. We have one take. But the question came in on the Facebook page. I figured out how to use an app on my phone, so I was able to like chat with it without having to like hinky dinky through it. Messenger is great when you're talking with people on your normal profile, but if you're talking through someone on a page, things get really weird with Messenger, and it's just like, nope, nope. So I'm gonna have Aaron answer this one because I get entirely opinionated when it comes to the word Linux. As you can see by the way I bounced when I said that.
Yeah.
So the question, it says, question to you both, but it's more or less to Aaron because he will rationally answer this question.
Yeah.
Operating system, best one in the world? Now I'm just gonna...
Oh, wow, that's vague.
Yeah, it's vague, I know, and that's why I'm gonna let you go. I'm going to time you for about 8-9 minutes. So let's just say you have until 7. Well, that's 13 minutes, whatever. Go.
All right. So, best operating system in the world? There isn't one answer. I mean, if you're a designer, for the longest time, any kind of designer, you wanted Mac, because that's all that would run on Mac hardware, and they had better hardware for this. Now Mac runs on Intel, so that's kind of out the window. It's also Unix based now. As far as like desktop applications, workplace stuff, office stuff, Windows. It's
Just say use your hand.
oh, I don't use my hand all.
You're using your hand right now.
Yeah. So yeah, for office stuff, word processing, Excel, spreadsheets, data management in a GUI, graphical user interface, Windows is absolutely king. It has more user base, so it's got more programs. It's got easier to use programs almost universally. There's been just tons and tons more development time put into making things slick and easy to use in Windows. So for a lot of cases, it's going to be Windows. But server-wise, pretty much every server that you want to use, whether it's a web server, a file server, most game servers, any kind of server is going to be probably a lot more stable on Linux. My personal preference on Linux is Ubuntu or Debian, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, because of apt-get, which is a really easy tool to use for installing pretty much anything. So yeah, that's really, it seems like a straightforward question for a lot of people, and for a lot of people I guess it would be. At work, most of my coworkers use Windows at home, but at least one uses Mac. I think my boss does too, but I'm not sure. And everyone who uses Mac swears by it. It's easy, it's slick, it's streamlined, and it gets out of your way. What I mean by that is it doesn't make you work to do what you need to do. So recently we've been having the same issue that everyone who uses Windows has with printers, which is if certain things happen, and I don't even know what they are, the printer will show up as offline in your control panel, and you won't be able to print to it until you uninstall and reinstall. On Mac, that's apparently as easy as just like, well, it never happens, is how easy it is. It just doesn't happen. On Windows, you have to uninstall the printer, add printer again, and go through a few steps. Now Windows 8 and Windows 10 have gotten a lot better about this. You plug a new printer in on your network and 8 and 10 just immediately install it for you. Windows 7 doesn't do that. Windows 7 still is pretty picky. I I guess if I had to say just overall, which I know is what you're going for, I would rate them as Windows 10, then Mac for ease of use, followed by Windows 7. For interface friendliness, I guess, I guess comfort level for the most people would be Windows 7, followed by 10, followed by Mac. And then just for sheer utility, it's honestly a toss-up between Windows 10 and Linux. And Windows 7.
All right, you've got about 2 or 3 minutes to talk about open sourcing, and I'm going to get out of here before I freaking murder some sort of hipster.
All right, so I'm not sure what about open sourcing.
Just
the,
your thought, your
the whole
opinion on
concept.
open source stuff.
Okay, so
Being the programmer of the relationship.
every piece of software I've written, with 5 exceptions maybe, has been open source. And the reason for this is there's a lot of support in the community for open source projects, but it has to actually be an open source project. So I keep my projects open source because I get free hosting on GitHub. I get the ability to share my work without, to get assistance, without having to worry about whether or not I'm breaking NDAs. It's a wonderful, beautiful concept. A lot of the most popular software out there is open source. Linux itself, WordPress, pretty much all of the big CMS systems for websites, PHP itself, which runs something like a quarter of the internet, some huge amount anyway, is open source. So I'm a huge fan, but the people who like open source things tend to be the kinds of people who piss TJ off, which is why he's out of frame. Yeah, so I like open source stuff. It's not necessarily the be-all, end-all. I'm more than happy using closed source software. I'm a Windows user. I play video games that are published by big names. So yeah, open source software is a good thing, and I love the ability to modify it.
Alright, what are we at here? 8 minutes, 12 seconds. Sweet. Cool on time.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts of anything you want to say? I gotta make tacos.
Yeah. I understand there was a question about what kind of software developer, writer person I am. I'm a web developer by hobby. I write primarily in PHP, which, again, most of the web runs on. Aside from that, I do write some software for PHP command line that I run locally. I'm looking forward to learning C++. I know Visual Basic-ish, VBA mostly for macros. But for the most part, yeah, I do web development stuff.
Alright, sweet. There's like a little expose on Aaron and answering fan questions. We'll chat with you guys over the weekend. Are we going to go see X-Men this weekend?
I don't know. I'm a little broke.
Alright.
So, have to see what money does.
Alright.
Oh, and for any developers out there, my GitHub is right here-ish.
We'll put it in the description, because I'll
That's
probably
it.
forget until I've already exported the video.
Okay.